In the quiet village of Yamuse, tucked in the lush heart of Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria, lived a young woman named Amaka. Her beauty was the kind that turned heads without her trying. Her eyes held a depth that made people pause, and her skin glowed like the earth after a fresh rain. But life hadn't been kind to Amaka. Since her mother died of a lingering illness 5 years ago, she had been both mother and daughter in her father's crumbling home. Sit back, relax, and watch till the end. Do not forget to subscribe. Amaka's father, Okonkwo, was once a respected man in the village, a palm wine tapper with hands rough from honest work. But grief turned to bitterness, and bitterness to destruction. He now spent his days slumped at Mama Igioma's beer parlor, drinking and flirting with women younger than Amaka herself. Their small farmland was left unattended. Debts piled up, and Amaka became the one holding everything together, cooking, fetching water, and washing her father's filthy clothes. Then came the storm that would change her life. One humid morning, as the Harmattan breeze lingered slightly longer than usual, Okonkwo stumbled into the house, reeking of alcohol and dried sweat. "Amaka," he barked, banging a bottle on the table. "Prepare yourself. You're getting married in 3 days." Amaka froze, the pot of yam porridge trembling in her hand. "To who?" "Obinna," he said flatly. "The man who just moved into the old Ease compound. He's poor like us. A farmer. But he paid your bride price in full. That's all I need." Amaka's heart dropped. "Papa, you're selling me off so you can keep drinking?" "Don't talk back to me," he shouted. "Your mother is gone. I'm all you have. And I say you're getting married. A woman's place is with her husband." She wanted to scream, to cry, but the tears refused to fall. She knew her father's mind was made up. And in Yamuse, a woman's voice carried little weight once bride price had been paid. 3 days later, Amaka stood under the scorching sun, clad in a simple wrapper and blouse, her hair adorned with white coral beads. The villagers came to watch the wedding. Obinna, the groom, stood quietly in the shade. He was a tall, dark-skinned man with a humble aura. His clothes were faded, and his sandals looked like they had seen better days. Yet his eyes were sharp, eyes that saw more than they let on. People whispered, "Why would a fine girl like Amaka marry a poor stranger like Obinna?" But no one asked aloud. After all, the bride price had been paid. Life as a married woman was not what Amaka imagined. Obinna lived in a small mud house with a thatched roof, with only 2 rooms and a rickety bed. There was no sign of wealth or comfort. Yet, Obinna treated her with an unfamiliar kindness. He never raised his voice. He fetched water with her. He even cooked sometimes when she was tired. One night, while they sat outside watching the stars, Obinna looked at her. "You're quiet." "I didn't choose this life," she replied, not unkindly. "But I'll endure it." He nodded. "And what kind of life do you wish for?" She sighed. "One where I'm free. One where I don't have to answer to a drunk father or be forced into marriage. A life where I could go to school, maybe start a business, build something of my own." Obinna smiled softly. "That's a powerful dream." Amaka glanced at him. "And you? What do you dream of?" He hesitated, then simply said, "Finding someone who sees beyond money, who sees the heart." Over the next few months, something strange began to happen. Obinna started leaving the house early and returning late, often with odd items. Books, fresh meat, new clothes for her. One day, he handed her a laptop. "What is this for?" she asked, puzzled. "To learn," he said. "You said you wanted to go to school. Let's start from here. Where did you get this?" "I've been saving," he lied with a grin. "Farming is more profitable than people think." She didn't believe it, but she didn't question further. Somehow, Obinna had started bringing comfort into her life without changing their humble surroundings. He encouraged her to learn online, helped her register for free courses, and even taught her how to type. But everything changed the day Chief Arins, the wealthy village sponsor, held a town meeting. He announced, "A philanthropist has donated 50 million naira to the village. The donor wishes to remain anonymous, but he has also sponsored scholarships for 10 girls, including Amaka." Everyone was shocked. Amaka? Why her? The whispers grew. Her father, Okonkwo, came stumbling into her home that evening, yelling, You've been hiding things from me. Who gave you money? Are you prostituting yourself now? Obina stepped forward calmly. She's done nothing wrong. Shut up, you lowlife. Okonkwo slurred. You think you can fool me with your farmer act? But before the fight could escalate, a convoy of black SUVs drove into the village the next morning. They stopped in front of Amaka's house. The entire village gathered to see. From one of the SUVs stepped a well-dressed man in a white kaftan. He was Obina, or at least someone who looked like him, cleaner, regal, powerful. Amaka's jaw dropped. What's going on? Obina looked at her, his eyes still soft. I didn't mean to lie. My real name is Obina Uma. I own several tech companies in Lagos and Abuja. I came here in disguise, tired of gold diggers and fake love. I wanted to find someone genuine, someone like you. She staggered back. You're rich. More than your father could imagine, he said with a smirk. But that's not the point. I'm in love with you, Amaka. I watched how you cared for me when you thought I had nothing. How you stood tall with grace, even in pain. I wanted to see who you were, not who you could become beside money. Tears welled in her eyes, not from the riches but from the honesty. Why didn't you tell me? I was afraid you'd treat me like everyone else did. I needed to know your love was real. As the village exploded in gossip, Okonkwo tried to take credit. That's my daughter. I raised her well, he boasted drunkenly. But Obina turned to him coldly. You sold her for alcohol. I didn't forget. But Amaka forgave you. I'll do the same, for her sake. But your days of exploiting her are over. 1 year later, Amaka was living in a beautiful home in Asaba City. She now ran her own fashion brand, trained other village girls for free, and funded a local school for young girls in Yamus. Obina remained by her side, no longer in disguise, but still the same gentle man who helped her wash plates in a mud kitchen. They traveled, laughed, and built their dreams together. And whenever people asked Amaka how she found such a man, she'd smile and say, I didn't find him. He found me. I just didn't know he wore his crown in secret.